of the most prestigious honors any university can bestow is an honorary degree, a degree which is conferred honoris causa, or for the sake of honor. Through this public action, Rutgers acknowledges individuals whose exceptional achievements support the ideals of the university and serve as an example for our students, our alumni, and society as a whole. I am very, very pleased to introduce a distinguished individual who will receive an honorary degree at this ceremony. A detailed account of her accomplishments can be found in your commencement program, but quite frankly, we all know about Sister Mary Scullion. She is a highly respected advocate for the rights of homeless and mentally ill persons, is known here in the Delaware Valley and across our nation for the efficacy of her work. It gives me great pleasure to invite Sister Mary to join me at the podium to receive an honorary degree of letters. A little bit more about her. As a compassionate leader committed to applying moral values towards meaningful social change on behalf of our most vulnerable and forgotten citizens, you have been involved in service work and advocacy for the homeless and mentally ill persons since 1978. In 1985, you co-founded the organization named Women of Hope, which provides permanent residential and support services for homeless, mentally ill women. In 1988, you founded the first Outreach Coordination Center in the nation, an innovative program coordinating private and public agencies doing outreach to chronically homeless persons living on the street. And in 1989, you and Joan McConnon co-founded Project Home, a nationally recognized organization based in Philadelphia that provides supportive housing, employment, education, and health care to help chronically homeless and low-income persons break the cycle of homelessness and poverty. Under your leadership, Project Home has grown to more than 700 units of housing and 3 businesses that provide employment to formerly homeless persons. In 2015, Project Home opened the Stephen Klein Wellness Center, which is a model for integrated health care, including primary care, behavioral health, dental, a YMCA, pharmacy, and wellness services. It serves those that are homeless and is located in the second poorest neighborhoods in Philadelphia. By living the values of your beliefs every single day, you have become one of our nation's most powerful voices on political issues affecting homelessness and mentally ill persons. Your advocacy efforts have resulted in the rights of homeless persons to vote, as well as a landmark federal court decision that affects the fair housing rights of persons with disabilities. You have received many accolades for your leadership in the city of Philadelphia. You were named 2011 Citizen of the Year by the Philadelphia Inquirer and selected by Time magazine as one of the world's most influential people in 2009. You and your co-founder, Joan McConnon, received the Luther Medal from the University of Notre Dame in 2011, or Notre Dame as we call it. You were awarded the Eisenhower Fellowship in 2002, as well as the Distinguished Alumnus Eisenhower Award in 2010. Your service to our region includes chairing the Hunger and Homelessness Committee for Pope Francis's visit to Philadelphia in 2015, when you led the Mercy and Justice campaign to support and focus attention on the plight of impoverished individuals, and the Campaign for Justice, which called upon lawmakers to support programs designed to help people experiencing homelessness and food insecurity. Under your leadership, the committee raised money for the Francis Fund to help other organizations meet the needs of people in the Philadelphia region and in Camden who are struggling with hunger, homelessness, and poverty in the spirit of Pope Francis's own special compassion and concern for our poor sisters and brothers. In a few short months, the fund raised $1.4 million, over $200,000 of which was dispersed to nonprofit agencies in Camden, including many who partner with Rutgers-Camden's Office of Engagement. You have roles on the boards of the trustees of St. Joseph's University and the board of John Bon Jovi Soul Foundation. It is noteworthy that you stand here in this spot receiving the same honor as Mr. Bon Jovi did in 2015. Together, the two of you have changed and continue to change our region for the better. Your life continues to inspire our nation toward a compassionate understanding of the needs of homeless members of our community. Your focus and energy raises up towards taking action upon those vulnerable and disadvantaged citizens. So now, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors and Trustees of Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, I am pleased to confer upon you, honoris causa, the degree of Doctor of Letters with all rights, responsibilities, privileges, and immunities appertaining thereunto, here and elsewhere.
Please, thank you very, very much for that very generous introduction and for this great honor to be with you today to celebrate with the class of 2016. I'm grateful to our wonderful Chancellor, Phoebe A, along with John Oberdeek, the Dean of the Law School, and Laurie Jones. Laurie served as a member of our Board of Trustees and is just a treasured friend. I'm also honored to be with your great mayor, Mayor Red, and Justice Faustino Fernandez Vina. I'm especially glad to be here because as I look out at this crowd of remarkable, talented leaders who've received a top-notch education and who are equipped in so many ways for productive and successful careers, I see the tremendous possibility for our future. You've received this great education within the walls of a great institution and a phenomenal faculty. But there's another education, one that takes place outside these walls, that is equally as critical. It is in the neighborhoods just blocks from here, where thousands of people live in social desperation and a daily struggle for survival. The city of Camden is a living embodiment of the fundamental crisis of our society, which so many of our nation would rather not confront, but you have chosen to do so. Walt Whitman's famous City Invincible, which was once home to major shipbuilding industries as well as America icons like RCA Victor and Campbell Soup, could not withstand the massive economic disinvestment and flight of jobs and capital, which likewise gutted many urban communities like the one I live in, North Philadelphia. Today, 42% of the city's population lives below the poverty line, with the average income floating around $26,000 a year, in a state that boasts of the third highest average household income in the nation. Some estimates suggest that as many as 40% of Camden residents do not have steady employment. There is another education we receive in the classroom outside these walls. Even amidst of this worst of desperation, there are so many passionate, committed, and gifted people in this community who are giving their lives to the works of mercy and justice, including many of the graduates here today. Ryan Aaron, who devoted hundreds of hours in preparing tax returns to low-income Camden residents, people doing their best at low-wage jobs who needed that hard-earned tax credit to feed their families. Ryan also invigorated the student LGBT group. Linwood Donaldson devoted his time to local politics. A first-generation college student, he also worked to ensure that foster youth are receiving educational services they need, including college access. And Fran Duncan volunteered to help people file for bankruptcy when their lives have been torn apart by illness, job loss, and other difficult life circumstances. These actions, and many others that I couldn't just take the time to name, are vital expressions of hope. You, the graduates of 2016, are the signpost of the possibility of transformation, and you bear witness to the best and most beautiful expressions of our human potential. There is a connection between what happens inside these walls of formal education and what happens outside them. Those of you in the legal profession face particularly challenges and tough choices. Our society has largely become a corporate culture where the legal profession is often driven by moneyed interest and billable time. Our legal system was established with high ideals, preserving basic democracy and human rights. Yet largely through the influence of money and power, many in the profession end up not fighting for genuine justice, but selling their talents to the highest bidder. In the worst cases, the law is used to promote greater inequalities of power and wealth. The growing disparity of wealth in our nation may mostly be legal, but that doesn't make it just, nor does it make it healthy for our democracy. We need you, leaders who will work hard for equal opportunity. We need creative and energetic legal minds to ensure access to health care, housing, and economic opportunity. The legal profession can and must be critical allies in the fight to serve the common good and build a truly just society. As Martin Luther King challenged us, we are caught in an inescapable of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one of us directly affects all of us indirectly. As we seek to respond to the specific crisis besetting the citizens of Camden and elsewhere, we are also working to secure the common good for all of us. That is why, as you leave this place today, that you carry Camden and its people with you wherever you go. At Project Home, we envision a society in which each person has a fundamental dignity. We envision a society where each person and child is given opportunity to flourish and achieve their fullest potential. We dare to believe that the men and women who live in our streets and those who live in the poorest neighborhoods in Camden deserve the best and brightest futures, and that they have gifts to contribute to a healthy and thriving community. Our core vision is that none of us are home until all of us are home. Working to end homelessness and poverty is not an impulse of charity. It is ultimately seeking to heal ourselves and our society as a whole. This is the vocation you are called, to serve justice, to turn that abstract law into the living, breathing expression of human dignity and social well-being. And in doing so, you can make the legal community an essential partner in ending poverty in our country. President Obama told your fellow graduates on Sunday, "Your generation has everything it takes to lead our country to a brighter future." This is the good news. We can make our communities more stable, more economically healthy, and vibrant places for all our citizens. And in the process, I believe we will all become more fully human. Thank you and congratulations.